896-5555. Jacksonville.
I walk outside, 6 foot, 7 foot. Marlon Wayne's my favorite song. You know, when I play it in my car, it's super loud.
Guns it. Sanders in a pocket. Oh, what a catch. Travis Hunter, give him the Heisman now.
My job is to come out and be Travis Hunter, come out and play how they envision me to play and, you know, exceed all their expectations. I mean, in the pros, it's a lot different. You know, all I got is football. In college, I had to manage school, football, and, you know, personal life. But, you know, I had a good team around me, so in college, it was kind of easy to me. You know, I pretty much, you know, focused on football, but I did my schoolwork. And, you know, in the pros, it's going to be the same way for me, but I don't have schoolwork, so I can go my 24 hours and nothing but football.
Goal, here's McCord, trying to win it for Syracuse, gives it to Allen. Allen is stopped by Woodard, still going, no! He gets through! Allen gets through! He wins the game!
Look out! There goes two! No flags! Touchdown!
With the 200th pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the Jacksonville Jaguars select Rayon Lane III, defensive back, Navy.
1010XL 92.5 FM presents Jaguars Today with your hosts Mike Dempsey, Tony Smith, and Dylan Denmark.
All right, welcome in everybody to Jaguars Today. Jags on the field, open to the public. I know a lot of our local audience is probably taking in practice right now down at Jaguar Minicamp Day 2. I've seen the photos that are circulating. Looks like a great crowd, great weather out there for your one chance to see the Jags on the field before training camp. So we've got tons to get to today. I'm Mike Dempsey. Tony Smith has the week off. My protege, Dylan Denmark, is here. Hello, Dylan.
What it do?
What is up? How are you?
I've been chilling.
Yeah?
I didn't sleep well last night, but nobody cares about that. And we got Trevor Lawrence on the field, which is the most important thing as of the moment.
Wow, you like brushed over your own personal sleep issues and went right to Sleevegate Day 2. Well, I'm not trying to sensationalize it, although by calling it Sleevegate, I certainly am, right? The point being, we're just happy that he's wearing a sleeve on his arm and not the sling as first reported yesterday. But Trevor back out on the field today. And he is wearing the sleeve, but he is throwing. So, I'm going to take Liam Cohen at his word that it's nothing to be concerned with at this point in time. And it's just general soreness. And Trevor's got a nice break coming up. I will say, Dylan, I don't need to see this sleeve reappear in training camp, right? I mean, we got plenty of time for that thing to cool down or whatever he needs to do, that general soreness to get out of there, manage his reps. Throwing, because he'll throw between now and training camp, obviously. But regardless, no major concern at this point in time. Maybe not even a minor concern for the Jacksonville Jaguars. It's good to see Trevor out there on the field today. Man, who are we not going to hear from? Might be easier to list, but we will hear a little bit more from Liam Cohen. Heard some of his thoughts at the end of the show yesterday. Grant Udinski spoke after practice, Jags offensive coordinator. We'll get to him coming up here shortly. A number of the offensive linemen, some of the 1010XL crew caught up with them. We'll have thoughts on Brenton Strange. We'll hear from Brenton Strange. Jordan Lewis speaking yesterday. Who else? A couple other guys I thought on defense as well. But we'll get into as much sound as we can. Tom McManis going to give us a bird's eye camp report as well, as Tommy's out at practice right now. And so we'll hear what all goes down over the course of the next hour and 10 minutes. Tom will join us at about 11:20, and then we'll try to have some fresh stuff for you at the end of the show. Travis Hunter among those who's going to speak after practice. I would assume, Dylan, with Udinski speaking yesterday, we'll get Anthony Campanile speaking today as well. So we're going to, take advantage of it. That's what we do here. We cover the Jacksonville Jaguars on this program, and it's the second to last day, potentially, that they'll be on the field before training camp. It looks like, from everything you're hearing, that they will go through with practice tomorrow, not cancel that thing, and I think that is the right move, the right way to go about things. Let's just throw out, by the way, how's Twitter for you this morning? Everything good on Twitter?
Yeah, everything's good so far.
Okay, just checking. I know we were checking in with some of our favorite correspondents down at minicamp, and, utilizing their eyes to let us know what's going on with Trevor Lawrence and the crew. Saw some little videos out there. Jags got a few up already this morning as well. Dylan was going down the rabbit hole this morning. For some reason, we started talking about work history.
Went down memory lane.
I went down memory lane just a little bit, and I had some great memories from my first radio stop in Jacksonville. I had some not so great memories with the way things ended with certain individuals over there, and you reminded me, and I didn't even remember this. I guess when they switched formats years ago, Hacker tweeted something out like, oh, it's kind of nostalgic, and, you know.
A lot of good memories at this place.
Yeah, that kind of thing, right? And I think my reply was something along the lines of, not as friendly, let's put it that way, but as you recognize, since deleted, but you found a reply to my deleted tweet that indicated that outside of a couple of people, most people said, well, screw that place.
Yeah, essentially.
Yeah, so
I remember you had replied, you had quote tweeted Hacker's tweet, and I tried finding it, and there was a reason I couldn't find it because it was deleted. But someone replied to what you said, and I hit the exact key word that was in the tweet that someone replied to.
You know, sometimes you just, you know, I don't delete many tweets, you know, and I stand by that sentiment, but, you know, I don't need that hanging around.
Yeah, that was an emotional tweet. I take.
I'm an emotional guy as well, right? I definitely.
And if I remember correctly, that was a Friday night, so Lord knows what was happening on Friday night.
Probably not as much as you think, honestly. You know, and that was like 2021, January 21. Yeah. So yeah, that's like 4 years ago, man. I was in full on dad mode by then. I was not a wild Friday night guy at all, I'm sure. That was a January as well. So what's going on in January on a Friday night? I guess some NBA.
The Jags were not in the playoffs at that time. I know that much.
No, not that time. All right. So, hey, why don't we, because we got to get ahead of the curve a little bit today. We got a lot coming up. We throw out the question of the day to you today. We did a poll on defensive newcomers and which one you think will have the biggest impact, best year for the Jags. Jordan Lewis, Emmanuel Ogbah, Eric Murray, and Caleb Ransall all have a chance to start. Not Ogbah. I shouldn't say all have a chance to start. Ransall has a chance to start. We know a couple of those other guys should start if you consider nickel corner a starting position, which most people do. Anyway, it's quick one-click vote at MD_1010XL on the Twitter machine is our Jaguars Today Chad and Sandy real estate question of the day. Want to get to a little bit of Grant Udinski right now. Don't hear from the offensive coordinator nearly as much as the head coach. And what has he seen in terms of progress from the offense this offseason?
There's definitely a lot of details that the guys are working at. We're getting down. The progress is one of those things that's incremental. It's day by day. And then you kind of look back after a week or 2 weeks or 3 weeks and recognize how much you've really moved from that initial starting point. So it's hard to notice some of that progress on a day-to-day basis because it is so incremental. It's 1%, 2%, 3% here and there. But when you add it up at the end, you turn around and you have something to be proud about.
All right, that seems reasonable. So what is Grant Udinski looking specifically for in this minicamp?
I think just the culmination of everything you've worked towards, really that level of mastery. Even if you're not at mastery, you're working towards that level of mastery that some of the guys have probably talked about, trying to get it automatic, just that play speed, that processing speed, the way they work, that thing speeding up when they're out on the field. I think you look at that, their level of execution and operation, the details that show up. It's a bunch of little things that go into it, but really it's everything that you're working towards. Everything matters out there. So there's not one thing in particular, but you would like to see all of that stuff to continue to evolve.
Well, I know some things in particular we'd like to see. We're always, give us all the Travis Hunter content that we can handle all the time. But most importantly, quarterback's got to get him the football. Trevor Lawrence, what kind of progress has he seen from Trevor Lawrence since working with him at the beginning of the offseason?
I think he's progressed in a lot of ways. I think first and foremost, learning the offense, like we talked about, it's a lot to learn. There are a lot of layers, a lot of details, and that can hinder a guy's play speed or processing speed. And I think as he's continued to work at that and study, you see the effect that it has physically in terms of playing fast, the confidence and comfortability, taking drops, techniques, fundamentals, those types of things that show up on 7-on-7 or team periods that might be easier to see on the field. But I think the mental growth as well as that physical growth, whether it's the individual period, those fundamentals that we're working on, all in all has come together to a level of comfortability that'll be closer to what we get on game day. But I think he knows, we all know that it's still not to where ultimately he can be. So it's a work in progress, but I'm appreciative of the work he's put in thus far.
All right. Full disclosure, just passing along what we hear and take in from the reports out of camp right now. And if you're on social media, you may have seen this already. I've seen tweets from Justin Barney, Jamal St. Cyr, Pete Prisco on this subject. Brian Thomas Jr. suffering what appears to be a shoulder injury at practice. Let me read you the tweets. We're not there, obviously. We'll hear more from Tom McManis coming up a little over an hour from now. Justin Barney says, not a good sight. BTJ goes down hard after a pass breakup with contact. Crowd groans. Walking off the field now. Jamal St. Cyr just followed up, I think, with a picture, walking off with a trainer. Pete Prisco, Brian Thomas Jr. just walked off at Jaguars camp with a shoulder injury. Mike DeRocco adding, Brian Thomas Jr. was down on the ground after landing hard after a pass play that was broken up by Tyson Campbell. He's heading off the field and going inside. Now, this could be just an abundance of caution. We understand how important Brian Thomas Jr. is to this whole operation here on the offensive side in Jacksonville. And I'm reading you in real time as these have come out within the last 2 minutes, this reporting. I'm not trying to sensationalize, not trying to build. I have no idea the extent of this. Nobody probably does. We just know it appeared that he came down hard on his shoulder, went inside to get looked at. I would assume Liam Cohen will speak after practice. Don't know if he'll know anything at that point in time. So let's hope that we hear something along the lines of BTJ back out there after getting checked out. Maybe he was shaken up. We don't know, right? Then, so could be absolutely nothing. Could be a little something. We'll keep you posted as we hear more coming from Jaguar minicamp this morning. Dylan, that's not the way I want to start the program off.
No,
today.
man. We've been so good with health, and we haven't had any issues off the field. We've been a good off season.
Yeah, and let's not kid ourselves. There are certain guys that, like, hey, somebody got hurt. Who is it? Oh, okay. Like, sorry, don't mean to put you down, but an injury to anyone not named Brian Thomas Jr. or Travis Hunter would be more acceptable in that wide receiver core. And it's a sliding scale, obviously. The more important you are to the operation of the function of that offense or defense, the less we want to see you heading inside this early in a minicamp practice. By the way, not a padded practice, so I don't like to hear too much contact, but these guys have to play at the same time, right? You can't play scared, but this is why. And again, we don't know. This could be nothing. Brian Thomas may be back out there in 10 minutes for all we know, okay? But this is why I think you see certain schools of thought in the preseason. I'm just going to keep my guys in bubble wrap. Even if they're a little rusty, I'm going to get them to the season healthy if at all possible. This is one of those deals. You got to practice. Minicamps are happening all over the National Football League. So let's hope it's nothing with Brian Thomas Jr., but definitely something that we will keep an eye on today. If you want to get in, we're not going to have a whole lot of time for phone calls today, but if you do, 641-1010 on the Checkmate Coatings phone lines. Same number works for the text line designed by Lifetime Enclosures. You can always take the show in on video as well as audio on YouTube, Twitter, Facebook. It's all out there. Hop in those various chats and give us some feedback. And, of course, on social media directly at MD_1010XL. And at 1010XL Denmark.
Ain't no laws when you're drinking claws, baby.
All right, we are now on Brian Thomas Jr. watch, and we'll keep you posted with anything we hear on that. Again, what we know, he went down hard after a pass breakup, seemed to injure his shoulder, according to Pete Prisco, and that he has gone inside right now to get looked at further, and we'll keep you posted on anything we hear on that front coming forward. Dylan Denmark's here with me. Tony Smith has the week off. Hope he's enjoying himself. Coming up, we are going to hear from Liam Cohen, more from Grant Udinsky, Brenton Strange, Fred Johnson, Patrick McCarry, Robert Hainsey, Jordan Lewis, Dewey Wingard, and anybody else we have time for today, including Tom McManis, with a full report a little over an hour from now. And so hopefully we'll learn something on that front. And the way you'll learn it quickest is if you keep it right here on Jaguars Today on 1010XL and 92.5 FM.
Jaguars
Today.
From the Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors Studios of 1010XL. Dan Hicken.
The infamous.
What does that mean?
Infamous is when you're more than famous.
Dan Hicken.
He's not just famous, he's infamous.
Wow, the infamous?
Dan Hicken.
Infamous?
Mornings on 1010XL, 92.5 FM.
The SEC and the ACC will face off in Jacksonville at the 81st TaxSlayer Gator Bowl game December 27th at 7:30 p.m. Join us for Saturday Night Football in prime time at the bank. Preferred locations and pricing available now at TaxSlayerGatorBowl.com.
Chicken Salad Chick is now open in Ortega Park on Roosevelt Boulevard. Fresh, scratch-made chicken salad in 12 mouth-watering flavors. Get to Ortega Park and enjoy Chicken Salad Chick, the best chicken salad in Jacksonville.
With 50 years of fabrication expertise in towing products, the family at Cannons of Jacksonville can repair or install precisely what you need to tow with confidence. Visit cannonsofjacks.com, where quality and customer satisfaction collide.
It's a Weight Loss Wednesday on 1010XL. Awaken 180 Weight Loss.
They were right. It could have waited. I can't believe it happened to me. Reaching to check my phone. Now my family has to hear that I'm never coming home again.
Officer?
I'm so sorry. I have some very sad news to share with you.
Every day, 9 people on Florida roadways don't make it home. I was one of the people that didn't make it home.
Ride with Do Not Disturb. Every trip, every time. Let's get everyone home safely. A message from Florida Department of Transportation, Target Zero. For more information, visit targetzerofl.com.
Jacksonville, you know a good defense wins games, and a good fence protects your home. Frank Frangie here. Coil Fencing has been around the block since 1927. Literally, they probably fenced it too. From tough chain link to sleek aluminum fences your HOA will love, Coil is the name to trust. Nearly a century strong and still standing tall. Call Coil today. You can trust them. Call 904-356-4821 or visit coiljacks.com. That's COYLE Jacks.com.
Take a radio boat ride with Captain Cabin on the Ring Power Fishing Forecast Show. Wheeled in by the Pest Pros at Royal Pest Services and Awaken 180 Weight Loss.
Thursday nights at 6
on 1010XL AM.
I'm with Greg from Cycles of Jacksonville. I always brag on what you guys have on-road and off-road. But Greg, tell everybody about what's happening on the water, because you got loads of opportunity.
We do. We've got lots of boats in stock. We got the Honda 19-foot Fisher Runabout. We've got the Coach pontoons, all of them with that legendary Honda motor and legendary Honda reliability, which you always want when you're out on the water.
You could be cruising along the Intercoastal or out on the ocean, but check it out. Facebook page ready for all of you to see, Cycles of Jacksonville, or their showroom on Atlantic near Regency.
Hey Jacksonville, it's Dan Hicken with a game changer. I've tested the field, and Checkmate Coatings is my new go-to for durable, jaw-dropping floor coatings. Better play, better results.
I'm Brendan from Checkmate Coatings. Our precision coatings make your floors the MVP of any space.
Slam dunk your floors at checkmatecoatings.com. Checkmate Coatings, your floor's missing piece.
Checkmate Coatings, your floor's missing piece.
Right now, they're on their way to disrupt your life, make you uncomfortable, and rob you. Don't bother calling the police. They can't help. That's right. Summer heat and humidity are about to attack North Florida again. You know what to do. Call Mike Merritt. Mike Merritt's Heating and Air has a license to chill. When heat and humidity are attacking you, Mike Merritt provides a comfortable chill at a bargain price. Mike has been keeping North Florida comfortable for 30 years. Mike Merritt technicians are never paid commissions, meaning you'll never be pressured to buy something you don't need. And Mike Merritt knows cooling issues can arise anytime. They don't just happen during business hours. So Mike Merritt never charges overtime fees. When you need us, we're here for you. Remember, in the fight against heat and humidity, Mike Merritt has a license to chill. Visit merrittair.com. Florida license number CACO 50384.
ET here, and if you've ever been injured in an accident, you have 14 days to see a doctor and protect your insurance benefits. You have the right to choose your own doctor, too. And I recommend McGowan Spinal Rehabilitation, the auto accident experts.
Hello, I'm attorney Malcolm Anthony. Being charged with domestic violence can turn your life upside down. If you're in trouble, Call me, Malcolm Anthony, at 285-4LAW. That's 285-4LAW.
Hacker here. Y'all know I needed to do something about my weight. When I saw Matt and Mike eating to lose weight, I figured that could probably work for me. And it did. Just look at me now. If you need a weight loss plan that works, visit awaken180weightloss.com.
The Golf Club of Southampton has plenty going on, from a great round to a round with your buds, soaking up some football and great grub. Every Saturday and Sunday at Southampton, enjoy their game day special. Wings tossed in your favorite sauce and a cold pitcher of beer. Membership opportunities to take advantage of, too. Join Southampton with a paid initiation, and you'll get a $500 gift card. Perfect for golf, pro shop purchases, or the clubhouse. Check it out. It's all happening at the Golf Club of Southampton.
This is Hayes Carlion for First Florida Credit Union. I bank with First Florida Credit Union because I trust them. I can always count on them when it comes to the vast services they provide. The online banking services are outstanding. So easy to use, depositing checks through the mobile app is fast and efficient. I also go to the branch off 210 in St. Johns County and the Durbin location, but they have 10 branches in the Jacksonville area. You need to be banking with First Florida Credit Union. They're enriching people every day. Federally insured by NCUA, Equal Housing Opportunity Lender.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Jaguars Today on 1010XL.
All right, it appears like we've got good news on the Brian Thomas front. Jamal St. Cyr, Channel 4, tweeting out 6 minutes ago as we're just heading into break. BT walked out of the indoors, walked out of the indoors, right? Walked back out with trainers, and the fans started cheering. So I saw someone in reply to Pete Prisco tweeting out 3 minutes ago that Brian Thomas Jr. injury, we don't know the extent of it. Somebody said he's already back out on the field.
Yeah, Hacker said he's on the sidelines right now.
He's on the sideline? Okay, so we're keeping track. The fact that he's on the sideline, though, means he's not undergoing extensive testing at the moment. They probably checked him out. It's probably a scare, is my guess. Again, we're not there, right? And we're just trying to pass along the info to you. I'm not trying to get anybody scared. The last thing I want to do is talk about Brian Thomas Jr. having any kind of issue at all, period, right? I mean, this is a guy that I think most people pre-draft, certainly, Dylan, who's the guy you have the most confidence in on this team. Even though he's only been here for 1 year, I think he would have been a strong contender for number one in that list with a handful of other guys. But so let's hope that we'll continue to monitor all the important or in-the-know accounts out there, and let's see if we can get any further info for you. But for now, it looks like he went in, probably got shaken up, got checked out. He's come back out, and we'll let you know if we hear about him getting back into reps today. And obviously, we'll look forward to hearing from Liam Cohen after practice today, and if he even knows anything at that point. I would think as the head coach, you make that a priority, right? Like, I know you got to run practice, and they say, you can't make the club in the tub, and once you're injured, out of sight, out of mind. It's not the case when it's in minicamp.
Yeah, and it's your best player.
It's your best offensive weapon.
Yeah, wasn't the old quote from Jimmy Johnson from back in the day? I coach everybody the same, differently.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, how you coach Brian Thomas Jr. is not exactly how you coach the undrafted guy, or, how you're checking up on him after practice before you have your presser.
Right. You may coach him the same, right, and to some degree. And Brian Thomas Jr. doesn't seem to me to have even a whiff of diva about it. Right? Am I wrong about that? Do you get
No.
Right? Doesn't he seem like a super chill guy for a guy who is soon to be even if he builds on what he did as a rookie? Going to be even talked about in a higher stratosphere of the top receivers in the National Football League. I don't get any sense he's got any of that diva aspect to him, which is nice. You love to hear him talking about last week. He's going to do everything in his power to get Travis Hunter up and ready to go because he gets it. It's not taking his shine away. Travis Hunter goes out there and has 80, 90 catches. That's only going to benefit Brian Thomas and everybody on that offense. So here's one. Nick Mullins took a shot down the field, intercepted by Antonio Johnson. That's from Jamal St. Cyr over at Channel 4. So, again, we're monitoring. BTJ went down hard. Looked like a shoulder. I saw somebody indicate in a reply to Prisco. And again, I don't know who these people are. I assume they're out of practice, though, right? And they see it firsthand. And he said he was able to raise both arms above his head, so didn't think it was a broken collarbone, that kind of thing. It doesn't sound like it's a broken anything. I'm sure it's not if he's already back out on the field. Again, just passing along the info that we have. So hopefully we'll see him get in a few more reps here before the practice is done. Practice is going to be done before you know it, man. They start early on these mini camps. Why don't we, Dylan, as we spend a few minutes on that, shift to some other things, keeping an eye on any news on anybody potentially going down at Jaguar minicamp. But let's get to some other thoughts because we got a lot to get to today. We'll see what we can get in right here on Brenton Strange. Liam Cohen was asked what he thought about what he has seen from his presumptive starting tight end.
Just works his tail off every day. Like if you were to ask Campy, one of the guys that he really has a lot of appreciation for, specifically, obviously, as a defensive coordinator, is Brenton Strange. Just the way that he practices, when he does get his hands on you, when he is blocking, he's physical, he's violent, he has some explosive movements, he's got strong hands. So, I've been really pleased with Brenton. I do believe that he's ready to take a step, and you saw it last year, kind of taking some steps forward, and I've been really pleased with his effort so far.
All right, same drill here with Grant Yudinsky. What has he seen from Strange?
I think his work ethic, first and foremost, is hopefully a leadership attribute that the guys can model and see what he does on a day-to-day basis. But I think from a leadership standpoint and just from a player's standpoint, you see a guy with a lot of potential to continue to grow, whether it's in the pass game, the run game, a guy with a lot of physical traits that can be that balanced tight end. And do a lot of different things that this offense will ask him to do. I think the encouraging thing is the type of guy he is and the way he works. If he continues to work at it, you see the potential and you see the opportunity for growth, not just throughout this spring, but hopefully into training camp and beyond.
We're going to hear from Brenton Strange himself here momentarily. Just a moment ago, 1 minute ago, Mike DeRocco of ESPN tweeting out Brian Thomas back out on the sideline with his helmet, which is important, obviously, if you're not going to be participating. Sometimes you take the helmet off, put it down, and that's that. So that's a pretty good sign that just got shaken up for a minute. And again, I'm just really looking forward to Dylan seeing that tweet from whomever saying that Trevor Lawrence, Brian Thomas in the red zone, touchdown, so-and-so in coverage, right? Hopefully that's coming before practice is out today. All right, let's see. Who caught up with Brenton Strange, Dylan? There's so many of these interviews. I was with Hayes yes. Carline. Had a one-on-one. We've got a few thoughts from Brenton Strange. I thought the first answer was very interesting because our perception is, you know what? What we want out of tight end under Liam Cohen is the physical inline guy who's going to be a force in the run game. Yeah, he's going to be, an outlet in the passing game as well, but we're not looking for Travis Kelce. All right, we're looking more for that mauler with some pass-catching chops, but the physicality aspect is pretty high on the list. And you look at Cade Otton's numbers last year. They were decent in Tampa, but they really were boosted by a 3-game stretch when the top 2 receivers were both out. So it was interesting to hear Brenton Strange talk about this, and you'll hear it right now, how he is excited about how Liam Cohen uses the tight end.
I think what gets me excited the most is that he uses me in every single way I can be used. I'm going to be used as a pass catcher. I'm going to be used as a pass protection. I'm going to be used as run blocking. So that's my favorite thing about being a tight end is that you can be versatile, you can be involved in everything, but that comes with a lot, and that comes with a lot of details. So that's what we've been working on the most is just figuring out the details of everything and trying to be great.
All right, a couple more from Strange here before we hit the break. This one from Jamal St. Cyr, Channel 4. Brian Thomas back on the sideline with helmet, but the trainer is standing right next to him. Again, we're giving you these in real time. I'm not trying to editorialize on them. I'm just passing along the info to you as, we're just monitoring as Brian Thomas briefly went inside with the training staff after coming down hard on apparently his shoulder. We'll see. I've yet to hear of him getting back in to some reps, but for now, back on the sideline with his helmet is as good as we've got. We'll continue to monitor that. Brenton Strange says one of the things he has been working on as a tight end is his route running.
I think my biggest thing the last 2 years has just been getting in and out of my breaks, running routes, moving, just running routes in general. So that's what I worked on the most this offseason. I actually worked with a receivers trainer for the first time, and it went great, man. I learned a lot, and I think it's transitioned well, and it's helped my feet out a lot.
Well, I mean, he's obviously going to have more of a pass-catching role as a primary tight end regardless this year, but it is interesting that he worked out, with basically a receiving coach, as he said, for the first time. And then, what we're going to be asking all these offensive players is, what are you seeing from Trevor Lawrence? And Brenton Strange says he has seen a lot of growth this offseason.
Seen a lot of growth. Trevor is one of the great players in this league, and we're all trying to be great. And I think that this offense gives him the ability to just be comfortable and give him all the answers. And that's what we need. We all need to be out there and playing fast, and I think that's what we're going to do.
All right, we'll take a break here. Nothing new on the Brian Thomas front. Again, if you're just tuning in, went down hard after a pass breakup with Tyson Campbell in coverage, seemed to come down on his shoulder, went inside, was back out within a couple of minutes, right? I mean, it was pretty quick. Within 5-6 minutes, he was back out with helmet on, the trainer standing next to him. I'm sure, look, he's a Ferrari, a Maserati. He is your finely tuned sports car. You're going to make sure before you put him back into the fray that everything is copacetic. So I get the kind of hanging around and lingering by the training staff to make sure that he's feeling comfortable and all that. And when we come out of the break, hopefully we'll have further updates for you on the Brian Thomas front, and hopefully it's a whole lot of nothing. Much like Slinggate or Sleevegate or whatever we want to call it.
Sleevegate is still in full effect till tomorrow.
Well, the sleeve is on, so there's that. But Trevor Lawrence is fully participating in practice this morning, so it doesn't appear to be any major deal, much like Liam Cohen said. We'll hear from Liam Cohen on the competition on the offensive line. Then some thoughts from Fred Johnson, Patrick McCarry, Robert Hainsey coming up on the other side. You're listening to Jaguars Today. Mike Dempsey and Dylan Denmark here with you on 1010XL and 92.5 FM. Hey, folks, Mike Dempsey here for Dandy Foods, Duval's finest. The Thompson family started the Dandy Company nearly 70 years ago right here in Jacksonville, Florida, and I was a longtime customer before they were ever a sponsor of 1010XL and Jaguars Today. And I'm just very eager to always tell you about how delicious their food is because they really have a commitment to quality. The highest quality products they can find, locally sourced as often as possible, delivered fresh daily across the First Coast. So you know you're getting the goods. When you swing into an area gate station, you're going to have phenomenal variety from Dandy, from sandwiches, subs, full breakfast menu, protein packs, veggie trays, wraps. They've got fruit cups, just about anything you could imagine for on the go, and they're going to keep the prices reasonable as well. When you're hungry in Duval and you're on the go, Dandy is absolutely the name to know. So do what I do when you are. Go out and make yours a Dandy, and do it today.
Jaguars Today. You're at the home of the Jaguars in the Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors Studios. Superior products, exceptional service. Now, another classic moment in Jags history.
Jacksonville, a community determined to win an NFL franchise. A special addition to the National Football League.
1010XL, home of the Jaguars.
June is Men's Health Month, and here's your reminder to be proactive and get screened for early detection at Ackerman Cancer Center. Many cancer instances are largely preventable and treatable. So take steps now to minimize your risk factors at AckermanCancerCenter.com.
Are you ready to reclaim your backyard? Serving Northeast Florida since 1977, Surfside Pools is the trusted name for expert pool design. Family owned and operated, they offer pool service, equipment repairs, commercial maintenance, remodels, and new pool construction. Let Surfside Pools transform your backyard into the oasis that you crave. Are you ready to float happy? Visit surfsidepools.net or call 246-2666. Surfside Pools and Spas, where luxury meets leisure.
License number CPC 044080.
Have you or someone you care about been arrested or had their driver's license taken away? I'm Susan Cohen, and I work with David Robbins at the law firm of Epstein & Robbins. We are experienced fighters for those charged with DUI and all criminal offenses. I've been named the best DUI attorney in the state, and David has been named the best criminal defense lawyer in Jacksonville. In your battle with the justice system, there is only one thing you need to know. Dial David 24/7 at Epstein & Robbins, 354-5645.
It's Awaken 180 Weight Loss Wednesday
on Jaguars Today.
Got a cracked windshield? Not only is it dangerous, but did you know it's also illegal? Call Baker Glass. Mack and his crew use the best auto glass in the market, and they accept most insurance. Plus, all new windshields come with a full warranty. From cars to trucks to RVs, you can count on Baker Glass to be fast and friendly. Just check out their Google reviews. Come see us at the shop on Casa Avenue, or we can come to you at your home or business.
I'm back with Baker Glass. No one treats you better.
It's tune-up time, and Florida Home AC, the official AC partner of the Jaguars, wants to partner with you for a cool summer season. Tune up your AC unit right now so it's running at peak performance when you need it most. Just call 777-4300 and order a tune-up for just $59. Keep your unit humming at optimal level. Log on to FloridaHomeAC.com and take advantage of their savings. Keep cool with Florida Home AC. That's 777-4300.
Listen to whatever you like, whenever you want.
I like this.
1010XL on demand. Ad-free shows after the live shows end. Shadowed by Duck Rooter Plumbing, Septic and Air Conditioning. Search where you find podcasts.
The best golfing weather is upon us, and Hidden Hills Golf Club invites you to enjoy your next round of golf with us. Our welcoming atmosphere and love for golf keep our friends coming back. Check us out at hiddenhillsgc.com. You'll be glad you did.
Joe C. for Preferred Roofing, reminding you your roof is more than just felt and shingles. It's a system that not only keeps your home dry, but also impacts your heating and cooling bills. Preferred Roofing and Construction is a GAF Master Elite Roofing contractor lauded for having the ability to educate and inform homeowners on their options. Why GAF and Preferred Roofing? They're veteran-owned and operated with ties to Duval for decades. A family business ready to make sure your family has a good roof over its head. Log on, preferredroofingjacks.com.
It's the event everyone waits for. Now at Beard's Diamonds. Buy one, get one free on all wedding bands. Now for a limited time, when you buy his wedding band, get hers free. Buy hers, get his free. Save up to $10,000. Are you about to get married or been married for years thinking it's time for an upgrade? There's nothing that symbolizes your love more than the wedding band. Beard's has hundreds and hundreds of bands from top designers in white gold, yellow gold, rose gold, titanium, platinum, plain bands, channel set bands, pave set, eternity bands. And for men, masculine bands, wide, modern, with and without diamonds, hammered, brushed, engraved, lots of colors. Come to Beard's now and find the wedding band that reflects your style and your personality. Buy one, get the second one free. The big box corporate jewelry stores can't or won't do this, but Beard's can. And it's happening now through June 23rd. Buy one wedding band, get the second one free. Don't miss this opportunity to celebrate your eternal love with the eternal symbol. Beard's Diamonds at St. John's Town Center.
For a lot of us, saving up a down payment can be the biggest barrier to buying a home. So Rocket Mortgage is lowering down payments to 1% for eligible home buyers with One Plus. Because everyone deserves their shot at the American dream. Call 800-4ROCKET or visit rocket.com to get a head start on your starter home.
Rocket Mortgage, LLC. Licensed in all 50 states. NMLSconsumeraccess.org, number 3030.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Now, more Jaguars Today on 1010XL.
All right, keeping an eye on Brian Thomas Jr. at a Jags minicamp, at least a metaphorical eye. We're here at the 1010XL studios over on Hogan Road. We got plenty of our 1010XL contingent and nothing to report new. Again, I'm just updating it. People tune in new all the time. Brian Thomas, Saturday, 15 minutes ago, Dylan. Pass breakup by Tyson Campbell in coverage went down hard, apparently on his shoulder. Was taken just inside. This is from a compilation of different social media postings. It was taken just inside. So not even like let's go in and get him an MRI or any of that kind of stuff. It's like, let's take him in, probably did a couple of range of motion dealies, I'm guessing, and tested him out, and he's returned to the sideline with helmet in hand. I don't know if he's wearing it or he's not wearing it, which is different. If you're wearing the helmet, you're fully intending to get back in. So I don't know where he's at on that. Haven't seen any reports that he has returned to practice in terms of participating other than being back out there. But the fact that he is back out there and they didn't take him in for more extensive testing, I think is a pretty positive sign here for the Jags. Guys are going to get banged up, right? But there's always on every team, there are a handful of guys. I mean, hey, the Eagles are crazy deep, right? But Saquon Barkley get a tweak, and all of a sudden,
team's not as good.
Right. You're going to sit up and take a little bit more notice. This is, Kenneth Gainwell ain't the guy. Anyway, so we'll keep an eye on that. Question of the day, presented by Chad and Sandy Real Estate. Which of these 4 defensive newcomers will have the biggest impact on the Jags defense in 2025? The options we gave you: Jordan Lewis, Eric Murray, Emmanuel Ogbah, Caleb Ransaw. Somebody who has United States Navy in their handle says, hey, don't underestimate Ray Lane. I'm not underestimating Ray Lane, but I will say the chance that he has to get more playing time than the 4 mentioned is practically non-existent, in my opinion. So maybe I am underestimating Ray Lane. I would say don't overestimate him just because he went to Navy. Look, Ray Lane, go out there and show the world. I don't care. I don't have any favorites, man. You know what? You want to win a starting job on defense or a rotational job? He's going to make an impact on special teams. We just went with 4 guys who either are going to start, like in the case of Eric Murray, seems that way. Jordan Lewis will be starting nickel. Caleb Ransaw is fighting for a starting job, we think, based on, draft position and what they've said about him. And Emmanuel Ogbah, we've been dying for that third pass rusher for a while here in Jacksonville. Now we finally seem to have him, an accomplished guy, a veteran who's been there, done that. All right, let's get to back to the offensive line, offensive side. Here's Liam Cohen speaking yesterday on the competition that they've generated so far on the offensive line.
The competes for me have been more, okay, after we throw a pass maybe 10 yards down the field, are they bursting to go get down the field, to go practice the right habits that are going to hopefully continue on through training camp, through the season, and be just like our style of play, the way that we want those guys to play. It's very difficult, like you mentioned, to see an actual physicality within either the run game or the pass pro in these settings. But I think from a repetition standpoint, when you talk about competition, that we've got a lot of guys, some quality competitive reps with both the first group, second group, and third group. And so that's been nice to have. And knowing that, okay, we're going to really hold off on the judgment specifically on the front until we get the pads on. But I think, Sean, Khalil, and Trevor, Mendelson have done a nice job coaching that group up. And those guys have taken to it. They've taken to the competition, and ultimately we'll wait to hold off on some of those judgments till we get to training camp.
Obviously, you can't fully judge an offensive line in non-padded practice, but I like what Liam Cohen leads with there, Dylan. This is a kind of a culture test, right? Like, okay, we completed the ball downfield. Are you just kind of like content with that, or are you trying to bust your ass to get out there and maybe, hypothetically throw a block, be in position to do that if this were a real situation? He's looking for guys that are looking to empty the gas tank on every single rep if they possibly can and squeeze everything out of it. And that's a mindset. That's a culture issue. I like to hear that from
Yeah, and Cohen, you hear, from other people like in Tampa how he valued the offensive line last year. But we really saw me on how much he valued the offensive line when we had Baselli on, what was it, about a month ago. And, Baselli brings him in. He's like, okay, he's a college quarterback. He's an offensive coordinator. He's probably going to throw the ball around. And like, no. Like, I value the offensive line. The offensive line is the most important piece. And we value the run game.
Yep.
And from that point forward, it's like, okay, this dude, like, it's not just the quarterback and receivers and just throwing the ball around. Like, no, this is how you win games. And not only how you win throughout the season, but especially when you get to the playoffs like Tampa's done the last couple of years. And, when it gets cold, you have to rely on the offensive line in the run game. And Liam Cohen seems to value that a lot, as he talks about it almost every practice.
Yeah, and look, it doesn't get cold in the AFC South very often, right? But that doesn't mean playoff football.
Yeah,
That's
Buffalo,
right. You got to go into some harsh environments and be able to impose your will. With that, let's hear from some of the offensive linemen. Hacker caught up with Fred Johnson. By the way, a lot of these are from one-on-one interviews. And go to 1010XL.com on YouTube. Go to 1010XL.com, the on-demand section on the website. They're all over the place. You can find all this out there if you want to hear the complete interview with any of these players. But we've pulled some selected snippets out because we've got so much today. We're just not going to get through all of it. Fred Johnson asked by Hacker, with the fact that you're not blocking, you're not in pads, can you build an offensive line at this point in the offseason?
I mean, you can do that with any offensive line. It just takes the time to, invest in what you want. I mean, you want to invest in the chemistry. Guys hang out, guys chill after practice. We have, O-line events and stuff. And, I feel like the room was coming together way better than I thought it would. Being that some of us knew each other from old teams and things like that. I feel like, anything is possible as long as you have the intention to do it, so...
All right, two things. One, Fred Johnson sounds like an offensive lineman. Yeah. Am I wrong? I mean, what position does this man play? All right, I'm going to say he sounds like...
With any offensive line, it just takes the time.
Yeah, if he hadn't said offensive line, you'd think offensive line, defensive line.
Anybody can do this.
He's got that deep voice. He's a large man.
He is a large human.
Everybody remarks on it when they see him like, damn, Fred Johnson's
Hacker
big.
said it's probably the tallest human he's talked to.
Oh, stop. This guy.
At a Jaguar practice. I don't believe that, though.
Mercedes Lewis? I mean.
He's about, 6'7"?
He's like at least 6'6". I don't know. Fred Johnson's a big guy, but I don't know. Maybe Hacker didn't talk to Mercedes at practice. I don't know what to tell you. Anyway, he focused more on kind of the camaraderie, the getting along aspect of it, which is important to him. I mean, offensive linemen do tend to hang out with each other, right? There is something to being in sync mentally with each other. I don't know if you have to have that, but I do think it helps.
Well, and the offensive line in football is the only unit where more than two people have to work in sync at the same time. Quarterback, receiver, those are just two people. Defense, you're on your own.
Yeah, some of them. I mean, there are stunts on the defensive line that you've got to work together.
Right, but for the most part, the offensive line, you have to work hand in hand. And Udinski talked yesterday about the run game that we didn't play earlier, but Udinski was talking about the run game and talking about the offensive line and can you tell with the running backs? He's like, you can't really tell right now with them not having pads on. So it's all. As Leon seriously says, it's synchronized swimming until you get to training camp, until they put the pads on.
I still want to win the synchronized swimming competition. All right. By the way, did you see the female synchronized swimmer who did an underwater routine to Michael Jackson's Thriller?
I did not see that.
Holy, just Google that or look on Twitter, do a Twitter search for that. Unbelievable. Great breath control, for one thing, but phenomenal. They got a side-by-side of the actual Thriller video and this young lady performing it. It was phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. Sometimes social media is not bad. All right, let's hear from Patrick McCarry here. A lot of people think he's the best addition they've made to the offensive line. Certainly a versatile piece there. And McCarry said yesterday for the offensive line to be good, they have to buy into the process.
We got to buy into the process. Coach Cohen has a great plan, has a great philosophy on offense. Sean Surratt's doing a great job. I think as a whole, we just got to buy into the system. We got to lean in on each other and build a team, build camaraderie, build a unit that works and fights for each other. So that's where we're at. That's why everyone's here, all of OTAs, to build that camaraderie, build that teamwork. And we're just getting started to get into camp and get that going.
This is, by the way, our own Joe Cowart with Patrick McCarry yesterday. One more from him. Asked about Trevor Lawrence, said he has picked up the new offense fast and shows command of the huddle.
I think Trevor's a great quarterback. Like I said, we're so early, man. We're in minicamp. From what I've seen from Trevor picking up a whole new offense, which has way more on his plate than any of us do, trying to learn this new offense. But I think he's doing a hell of a job. He's really leading the offense. He's really leading the team. In the huddle, he has command of that huddle, and he he's speaking through the play calls like a sentence, like he's just talking. And that's when you start to get that this quarterback is really understanding the offense and it's clicking for him, even as he's speaking. So that's what we're getting to, and I think he's great.
All right, one more here from the O-line group. Rick Ballou caught up with Robert Hainsey, the presumptive starting center for the Jacksonville Jaguars. And just, this week, you're going to maybe add a few different things or maybe not. So has anything changed about what they're trying to get accomplished as opposed to what they did in OTAs?
I think we're doing a great job really kind of coming together, and everyone's buying into the offense and what the identity we want that offense to have. Figuring out some different techniques that are going to help this offense go. Playing together as a unit, offensive line-wise, playing together as a unit, offensively total, has really grown through phase 1, phase 2, OTAs, and now minicamp. Like, it's tangible, getting to know each other. Obviously, we had a lot of new pieces, myself included. We draft guys, new pieces there. Everyone's kind of figuring it out. We got a lot of new offensive terms. It's different for a lot of people. It's been similar for me, which has been helpful for me, and I felt like I've been able to kind of help others with that as well. So the growth has been exponential, and I think we're going to keep going that way. It's just getting our feet under us and taking off.
Oh, it's all great in the offseason, isn't it? Right? Like
always is. Usually.
I will say this. I'd rather hear that than, yeah, we're kind of struggling. we're trying to work out our fits. It's a work in progress. I'm sure it is a work in progress, but I like to hear some of the positives that are happening. So there you go. A look at what some of the offensive linemen have been saying this week out at minicamp. Still to come, Liam Cohen on the defense, Tyson Campbell, the D-line. We hear from Jordan Lewis, Andrew Wingard, whatever we got time for coming up on the other side. Tom McManis, about 30 minutes away. He's out there at minicamp this morning, and he's going to check in with us with a post-practice report. I have nothing further on the Brian Thomas front in terms of whether or not he got to participate after coming back out on the sideline with his helmet. Went down hard early on. Hopefully we'll get a no big deal abundance of caution out of Liam Cohen after practice. I say hopefully. We don't know, but we continue to monitor, and we'll pass along anything we have on the BTJ front or anything else Jaguar related to you as quickly as we get it. You're listening to Jaguars Today. Mike Dempsey and Dylan Denmark. Fat Tony's got the week off. This is 1010XL and 92.5 FM. Hey, folks, Mike Dempsey here for Pella Windows and Doors. You don't have to take my word for it. You can. But Consumer Reports will tell you that Pella Windows and Doors ranks #1 in all the major window categories. All I know is they came in, replaced all the windows in my house and my sliding glass door, and my house looks fantastic. It's more energy efficient, and I couldn't be happier with the results. Right now is a great time for you to upgrade your home. 0% financing for 60 months, 5 years of interest-free payments on the best windows and doors in the business. Get a free consultation by going to PellaJacks.com or stop by their showroom on Phillips Highway. That's Pella Windows and Doors.
Awaken 180 weight loss.
Jaguars Today, Wednesday.
Your radio highlight reel.
Caught for the touchdown.
1010XL, home of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
If your ride is making strange noises, don't wait and make it work. Come to Action Transmission on Merrill Road. My expert technicians can diagnose the problem and likely fix it fast. Experience the difference at Action Transmission on Merrill Road.
Attention business owners and property managers. Hurricane season is right around the corner. Is your property ready? Call the pros at Duck Duck Rooter for expert storm drain cleaning and hydrojetting. Our powerful VACCON truck clears the way so your drains flow freely when the rain hits. Call 904-862-6769 today to schedule your service and protect your property before the storms start rolling in. Duck Duck Rooter, your trusted name in storm drain maintenance. Visit us at duckduckrooter.com. We're a proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
At IHRS, we're passionate about solving your hair loss. We're clients too. With the latest hair transplant technology, FDA-approved laser hair therapy, and PRP, we guarantee solutions for both men and women. Call now for a free consultation and receive $250 off. Hair restoration is for me, and it can be for you too. Go to hairforme.com or call 904-777-IHRS. That's 904-777-4477.
The 2025 season schedule has dropped, and single game tickets are on sale now. Be at the bank to watch Travis Hunter, Trevor Lawrence, and the Jaguars take on the biggest names in the NFL.
Don't miss your favorite matchup and secure your tickets now by visiting jaguars.com/tickets or call 904-633-2000. See you this fall, Jags fans.
Yes, sir. That's the best decision. I love it.
Jaguars Today.
From the Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors Studios of 1010XL.
As a law enforcement officer, safe roads are one of my top priorities, ensuring everyone can get home safely each day. Some never will, due to aggressive driving, being distracted, or speeding on the roads. And too often, that results in the toughest part of my job and the longest walk in my life. I'm so sorry. I have some very sad news to share with you.
9 people will be killed on our Florida roadways today. Don't let it be you or a person you love. Buckle up every trip, every time. Let's get everyone home safely. A message from Florida Department of Transportation, Target Zero. For more information, visit targetzerofl.com.
Home of the Jacksonville Jaguars. WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
Prosser here. Get those boats ready. The Dailies Old School Kingfish Shootout, presented by Yellowfin, is almost here. It's Saturday, June 14th. Just go to oldschoolkingfish.com to find out more. The grand prize is a Yellowfin bay boat worth $125,000, and with limited boundaries, no bait buying, and no checkout, it is seriously old school. Here's how you do it. You go online, you sign up, and you become part of what was always a terrific tournament. It's the Old School Kingfish Shootout. oldschoolkingfish.com.
I'm here with Clayton Bromberg of Underwood Jewelers. Clayton, you spend a lot of time talking about diamonds, but what about some of the colored stones we see?
Frank, when you talk about colored stones, there are literally hundreds of varieties and species in the gem kingdom. As certified gemologists, we're trained gemologically on the identification of each of these and can separate the man-made synthetics and imitations from the real thing. But at Underwoods, we can go to the next step. At Underwoods, we're active buyers of loose colored stones in the world markets, so we have an understanding of the values of colored stones as they relate back to the various qualities. In fact, just like diamonds, we buy most of our colored stones loose, then create the pieces of jewelry to hold the gems. You can be assured not only of the authenticity and quality of our colored stone jewelry, but also of the value. So if you're in the market for a fine quality emerald, sapphire, ruby, aquamarine, amethyst, citrine, tourmaline, peridot, or any other gemstone, come by and see us at Underwoods.
For lost or broken keys or nearly any make and model of vehicle, call 722-1111 for Instant Keys. Instant Keys. You don't have to go to the dealer. Instant Keys comes to you.
Lucas Tree Service is a certified arborist and a local family-owned business with over 45 years of experience. They specialize in tree removal, trimming, and stump grinding for both residential and commercial properties. Get prepared for storm season and receive top-notch customer service from Lucas Tree Service, 904-241-3533. Online at lucastreeservice.com.
This is Father Nicholas Lowe, and I want to talk to you about being a godly example. Every day, we're setting an example in our words and actions. And many times, we can act one way in one setting and then totally different in another setting. My encouragement for you is to not send out mixed messages. God is depending on you to set the example in people's lives. You don't know, but you may be the only Bible that someone ever sees today.
For more inspiration, log on to stjohnthedivine.com.
This is your local sports update. I'm RJ Saunders for 1010XL. This update brought to you by TopDressing.com. According to ESPN's Mike DiRocco, Jaguars wide receiver Brian Thomas Jr. was down on the ground after landing on his hand after a pass play that was broken up by Tyson Campbell. However, per Jamal St. Cyr, Thomas has walked out of indoor with trainers and looks to be okay. The Florida Gators men's basketball team's annual matchup against rival Florida State has been scheduled. Florida will host the Seminoles on November 11th, according to CBS Sports. This will mark the 76th all-time meeting between the two rivals. A tip-off time will be announced at a later date. Currently 86 degrees at 10:57. Time and temp brought to you by Bueller Air and Plumbing. Stay cooler with Bueller.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Everything you need to know about the Jags. Jaguars Today on XL.
All right, we continue on. What are we, just starting hour 2? It feels like we've been here for a while this morning, Dylan. Had a lot to talk about. A lot of catching up from yesterday's practice. And, again, nothing new on the BTJ front. Went down with an apparent, get banged up. Went inside, got checked out, came back out with his helmet. I have not been able to see an indication that he was back out on the field at any point. I haven't seen that. I think somebody would have mentioned that, but that doesn't mean that it could just be an abundance of caution that they're holding him out. He did return to the sideline with his helmet pretty promptly, so hopefully we'll hear from Liam Cohen up here shortly. He's supposed to speak any minute now, right, Liam Cohen?
Yeah, it said, usually they talk about 11, but they're still on the field, so.
Okay, well, might go a little bit longer then. We're hopeful to catch up with Tommy Mack. Practice should be over in the next 20 minutes. So we should be able to catch up with McManis then, but we'll be monitoring what Liam Cohen and everybody else has to say. Travis Hunter's supposed to speak after practice today, so you'll hear from him throughout the course of the day here on 1010 XL. Dylan, we got a lot to get to here. Why don't we spend a moment taking a look at what's happening around the rest of the NFL?
Now, Gems Around the NFL, brought to you by Beach's Jewelry and Pawn in Jax Beach.
All right, now I got to scroll back through all these tweets of Jaguar-related stuff, and here you go. From the Denver Broncos, J.K. Dobbins reportedly agreeing to a one-year deal. The running back went over 1,000 yards last year for the Chargers. R.J. Harvey was the 60th pick in the draft, and keep in mind, that was a guy the Jags had interest in, and it prompted a move back from pick 70. They might have had their eyes on R.J. Harvey there. Maybe we never would have seen Bajal Tootin in Jacksonville had it gone a certain way. But it did go that way, and so the Jags ended up trading back, got a couple of extra third-round picks. Sean Payton wouldn't talk about that yesterday, so I don't know if the signing's official until today, but we'll keep an eye on that. Former Jaguar Josh Oliver got a 3-year extension for $23.25 million with a max value of $27.5 from Minnesota. Man, I mean, he'll catch the occasional red zone touchdown, but is he much different than what we've got in Hunter Long and Johnny Munt? I mean, he's a big physical, mostly blocking tight end. That's some pretty good money for him to make right there. Congrats to him. Shaq Thompson, former Panther linebacker, signs a one-year deal with the Buffalo Bills yesterday. And the Cardinals signed number 16 overall pick Walter Nolan to a 4-year, $19.3 million deal that includes a $10.7 million signing bonus. Travis Hunter yet to be signed. I don't sense any consternation or panic from the Jaguars side of things. Again, for me, I'm going to have to be a week out from training camp with an unsigned Travis Hunter before I am worried about that circumstance right there. So we'll see how that all plays out, but that's your look around the National Football League. Let's get to the defensive side while we've got a few minutes here. Dylan, a reminder, our Chad and Sandy real estate question of the day comes in on the defensive side of the ball. Which of the 4 newcomers that we listed will have the biggest impact for the Jags this year? That is Jordan Lewis, Emmanuel Ogbah, Eric Murray, and Caleb Ransaw. You can vote on our Twitter poll at MD_1010XL. We'll update you later on. Just going through, there's now like a trending topic. Brian Thomas Jr. sidelined at Jaguars training camp, but it's basically just a rehash of all the info that we passed along already, which happened just less than an hour ago, and really don't know anything more than we passed along. We keep repeating it because that's how it is in radio. A lot of people, you get in your car, you tune in, you might have missed it, and we want you to be able to come to 1010XL and get the latest on whatever's happening with the Jaguars, good or bad, as quickly as possible. Now, to the defensive side of the ball, Liam Cohen. This is all audio from yesterday's post-practice setting. Liam Cohen was asked about how the defensive line has looked so far in minicamp.
Yeah, I thought there was a little bit more of a rush today, which was great to see from one aspect. And like I was just talking to Tony about this just now, it's actually the worst time to play offensive line because there's no surface area to touch. And as much as we'd love to not admit there's holding that does occur in a professional way. And so it's really difficult to play offensive line in these competitive situations that are primarily drop back pass situations. So really not judging them by any means, but although it was nice to see some of that juice off the edge and our D-line getting going a little bit, that was nice to see, because we really haven't not necessarily seen it. We have, but more so haven't been in those settings as much. And so it was definitely good to see. And but if I was an OL in this setting, I'd be kind of annoyed.
Well, I understand that, right? And speaking of defensive line, I saw one tweet that Eric Armstead had a pressure that might have resulted in a sack. Trevor Lawrence forced to tuck it and run. These back-to-back tweets here by Jamal St. Cyr about 15 minutes ago. Excuse me, 11 on 11. Nick Mullins spiked it. Mason Smith with the pressure. Immediately following that, Nick Mullins' pass intercepted by Mason Smith. Big man with a big play. So there you go. Mason Smith making his presence felt in today's practice. So backing up what Liam Cohen said yesterday about the D-line looking sharp. And then one question from Liam Cohen on Tyson Campbell, says he has been impressed with him.
I've been impressed with Tyson. I thought, like you said today, made some really good competitive plays. He's getting more and more comfortable playing with his hands at the line of scrimmage, trusting his physicality. He does have long arms and good length, and obviously the speed and athleticism shows up. I thought he made some really good plays on the ball, and he kind of has all throughout OTAs, but I've been really pleased with his approach, the way that he's practiced, the way that he's taken coaching. I've been really pleased with Tyson so far.
You know, hearing reports and some just from fans who are in attendance tweeting about things, and basically defense having a good day. You can kind of suss that out in some of this stuff. Like here's a series of tweets in the last 5 minutes from Jamal St. Cyr, Channel 4. 11 on 11, fourth down. Trevor Lawrence tucks and runs out of bounds. Nothing there. 11 on 11, fourth down. These are consecutive tweets. 11 on 11, fourth down. False start. 11 on 11, fourth down. They're simulating fourth down, obviously. Trevor Lawrence to Brenton Strange, but he caught it out of bounds. Foye in coverage. 11 on 11, fourth down. Trevor Lawrence to Travis Hunter in the end zone. Incomplete. Jordan Lewis with the pass breakup. So that's kind of been how it's been for the day. We'll get a bird's eye view from Tom McManis here coming up in about 15 minutes as Tommy Mack will check in. Don't forget Tom, of course, in for the full show once again on Friday. Let's hear from a couple of these defensive players. Jordan Lewis is part of our poll question today and was asked yesterday, among other things, how important is it for him to take a leadership role with some of the young players in that secondary?
Very important, because when I was coming into the league, I never really had a guy that took me under my wing, under his wing, and told me exactly what to do, the do's and don'ts in the league. And I just want those guys to understand that I'm here for them. I'm in their corner. So just being a guy that I wanted when I was a rookie, just trying to get them any types of nuggets I have to make them a better football player. So that's really it, honestly.
All right, so Lewis expected to be your starting nickel, right? That's what they signed him for. At the time he signed his contract, kind of like a Logan Cook deal. He was the highest paid nickel corner in the league. I think somebody quickly passed him, but so be it. They obviously prioritized signing Lewis. I believe the first guy they agreed to terms with in free agency this year, and was asked what kind of versatility he brings to this team.
It's cool. I've been playing more so, inside here, but it's cool that Coach Milo give me some reps outside, and getting adjusted to the defense and understanding how we want to play. But I feel like I can do both here, honestly. So I'm excited to see what they want me to do on the defensive end. But I'm here for the challenge. So I'm willing to do whatever and make this defense better.
All right, and then just one more from Lewis, and you'll hear a thought on this from Andrew Wingard as well. Just how has he adjusted to working with Coach Campanile?
Very intense, yeah. So he coached at Michigan too. So it's a few ties that we have, and all the guys that played with him or play under him, they love him, and so do I. I love his energy and his passion for the game, and his attention to detail, just the techniques and the different calls and stuff like that, and the love he has for his players. You can already tell that he loves us, and he wants us to go out there and play really good football, and I feel like we're going to do that.
All right, Dewey, same question. Coach Camp, what's it been like?
Camp's really cool because, back to my point, he's been a position coach. Now he's a coordinator, and he's been under really good defensive coordinator. So he's got like this, like, he knows the X's and O's. He understands, how teams are going to attack him, but at the same time, he knows how to coach players on how to play. So, I had a really good position coach my rookie year in Joe Dana, and he taught me how to play NFL football. And that's what I've been talking about. Like, camp has all these little sound bites and all these little nuances that click, things that you see, how you move, stuff like that. So I think that's been the coolest part. And then again, he's really smart. He'll probably play it off that, he's just a, rah guy, typical defensive coordinator, but he's really, really smart, and it's super fun, being in there watching film with him, and I didn't even know this about him. He coached offense for a long time, so he's very smart. And again, I don't want to, not trying to put any pressure on him. But we could be really dialed. So we'll see what happens.
All right. Well, hey, we could be really dialed. Dewey seems to like what he's getting from Coach Campanile. One more here. Why does Andrew Winger think that this group of coaches and players can work this year compared to some of the past versions he's seen here in Jacksonville?
I'm actually going to counter you and say I'm not even going to answer that, because wins and losses, that's literally the only thing that matters. Whether we can go out wake up on a Sunday, put our cleats on, and go win a football game will be the only thing that's going to matter at all this year. So it's on us, and that's how it should be. But we have great coaches. We're super excited. The energy's there. But it's on us.
All right, there you go. Andrew Winger. Not going to tell you that. It's all up to us. We got to get it done. There you have it. All right, Dylan, why don't we, while we've got a moment here, and we anticipate Tom McManis joining us coming up in about 10 minutes, take a look at today's 10-10 take.
10-10
take.
Now, Mike Dempsey's 10-10 take is serviced by Ideal Conditions Heating and Air, your go-to local HVAC company, veteran owned and operated.
All right, which of these four defensive newcomers will have the biggest impact on the Jags defense in 2025? Your options today: cornerback Jordan Lewis, signed to play the nickel spot. Safety Eric Murray, signed to be your strong safety. Edge rusher Emmanuel Ogbah, first man up off the bench. And then, we know you rotate, and we don't want to rotate as much as we did last year, but you get the idea. You're going to have him in key pass rush situations beyond the field. Or is it safety Caleb Ransaw, who was the Jags' second highest draft pick after Travis Hunter this year? Denmark, I hate to be so obvious and go with the vast majority here. And I guess not a vast majority, but when you have four options in the poll and somebody's pulling 53.7%, it's a solid majority for Jordan Lewis. And I do think he has got a cockiness to him. And I don't mean that in a negative sense. I feel like he's a very confident player who lets you know about it. I think he's going to bring out some of that in the secondary. He's been there, done that, been around the league for a long time. I think he's going to play a ton. He is a veteran presence in a group that's going to have a number of young players. So some of his impact is going to be in helping to bring those guys along as well. Look, I think Eric Murray might play the most snaps of anyone in this group right here. I could be wrong about that. He's pulling 6.3%, 20% each for Ogbah and Ransaw. I would go Lewis. I might go Ogbah number 2. So I kind of agree with the order that this vote has come in, but my vote would be for Jordan Lewis. What about you?
Yeah, it's about the same. Jordan Lewis, you kind of forget. He's been in the league for a while now. He's been in the league since he was with Dallas since, 2017? I think it was 2018 maybe. I know it's been since 2018. We just played a couple of those clips about him and leadership and mentoring those young guys. And yeah, Eric Murray could be one of those people that plays the most snaps, and he could be that starting safety. But I think Jordan Lewis is going to get this because that secondary that we've spoken on this whole offseason has needed some work. We know Tyson Campbell is going to be on the outside. Hopefully he can be healthy this year. He's only played 11 games 1 year and then 12 games in the last 2 years. 23 games combined his last 2 years. But Jordan Lewis is going to secure that slot corner on the in the slot, and then hopefully Jarian Jones and Travis Hunter can secure the outside and be well this season.
It's interesting. PFF ranked the Campbell-Lewis combo as the 10th best pair of cornerbacks in the National Football League. So if that other outside spot, some combination of Travis Hunter getting it done along with Jarian Jones to whatever degree, and, not to, dismiss the rest of the depth chart, but I think those are the primary guys we're looking at. If they can give you something, this could be a much improved secondary. Could be. Not guaranteeing it. On paper, you can see how it all could come together. Obviously, hand in hand with an improved group getting after the quarterback, pressuring quarterbacks up front. All right, we'll come back and we'll talk to Tommy Mack, our own middle linebacker here on Jaguars Today, out at minicamp practice. As of 4 minutes ago, they're still on the field practicing. Seth Hennigan getting some good reps. John Wolford getting reps today. All the quarterbacks were getting a lot of reps today out at minicamp. So hopefully the folks who were able to attend had a good spectacle to enjoy. But we'll get Tom's take on what he saw today coming up on the other side. Still to come, we hope to bring you some fresh thoughts from Jaguar head coach Liam Cohen before the hour is out, particularly on the Brian Thomas front. Once again, if you're just tuning in, went down with an apparent injury, went inside, was inside briefly, getting checked out, came back out on the sideline with his helmet. No indication if he got back out on the field yet and actually was able to participate in any reps beyond that. And if he didn't, it's not necessarily any major catastrophe, as I'm sure they're wanting to manage one of their best players anytime he gets any kind of tiny tweak. So hopefully we'll hear Liam Cohen address it to some degree coming up before the hour is out. This is Jaguars Today. Mike Dempsey and Dylan Denmark here with you on 1010XL and 92.5 FM.
Jaguars Today from the Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors Studios. Celebrating the Duval worker. The home of Jacksonville sports fans. 1010XL. Now, the Florida Gator Report on 1010XL, brought to you by San Jose Collision.
The Florida Gators Week 1 matchup on the gridiron now has an official time and TV destination. The Gators will host Long Island University in the Swamp on Saturday, August 30th for a 7 o'clock kickoff, with the game airing on SEC Network Plus. Their annual matchup against Georgia will be here in Jacksonville on November 1st for a 3:30 kickoff, as that game will air on ABC.
Firehouse Subs has fries. Their hometown hero since '94 just cranked up the heat. Hot subs, crispy fries, golden, pillowy on the inside, and perfectly seasoned. Over 30 Jacksonville locations. Firehouse Subs, homegrown and now with fries.
Yo, E.T. here, and I need you to beat the heat this summer with cool escapes and non-stop fun in Clay County. Tackle indoor adventures head on. Throw axes at Live by Axe or smash your stress away at Just Smash That. Then kick back with drinks, good food, and fandom vibes at Newcomer Anime Bar or Leaderboard Arcade and Bar. Whether you're blowing off steam or just looking to chill, Clay County got your perfect indoor getaway. Find your cool at exploreclay.com. That's exploreclay.com.
It's a Weight Loss Wednesday on Jaguars Today. Awaken 180 Weight Loss, your long-term solution for weight loss.
Hey, it's Matt Hayes. Let's start with some cold, hard truth. Here's why Awaken 180 Weight Loss is your road to freedom. It's fast, it's easy, it's safe. You're not shooting chemicals into your body every week. You're eating real food every single day. You're not listening to an overpriced celebrity tell you about magical new food or asking you to count points or calories. You're just eating food and losing weight. It's that simple with Awaken 180 Weight Loss. You know what else you're doing while losing weight with Awaken 180? Eliminating pain, fitting into clothes you haven't worn in years, sleeping through the night and waking up refreshed and energized and happy. I lost 40 pounds in 9 weeks on Awaken 180, and Hacker lost more than 110 over the course of a year. It's a life-changing road to freedom. Doesn't matter what your goal weight is, Awaken 180 Weight Loss will get you there quickly and safely, a clear path to success without disappointment. Awaken 180. Give them a call, 844-346-1800, or go online at awaken180weightloss.com.
Spring has sprung, and so have the bugs. It's Hayes Carline, and my friends at Kingfish Pest Control offer an exclusive $99 spring special. That's right, your initial pest control service is just $99. And if you call today, they'll include a free one-time mosquito treatment. Kingfish Pest Control is family-owned, 5-star rated with no binding contracts, and 100% satisfaction guaranteed. Call them now to book your service. Only at Kingfish Pest Control, proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
The calls have been pouring in.
It's the strongest phone connection on the First Coast. The Checkmate Coatings phone line covers you with expert interviews from around the country and your opinions and comments from here at home. All day, every day on 1010XL.
Pacifico, discovered by accident.
Yeah, the story goes, a group of friends went down to Mexico looking for some legendary waves. They never found them. But what they did find was something even better. An unforgettable Mexican lager.
Where'd you hear that?
Tell your next great story with a friend and a delicious Pacifico Mexican lager.
Pacifico, find your own way.
Bueller.
Stay cooler with Bueller.
Hey, pal. Pretty nice weather we're having, huh?
You think this is nice?
I mean, it's sunny, warm. We do live in Florida.
It's not all upside, Jason. Warm weather comes, so all the cool people hit the beach. My old air conditioner craps out, so it's 1,000 degrees inside, and I'm stuck on a video call in my underpants trying not to sweat through my...
Wait. Put these sunglasses on.
I'm not going to put on your...
Whoa. The air conditioning experts at Bueller Air and Plumbing can keep your home office cool and comfortable all summer long. You look good in your meeting, impress the big guy with your cool confidence, maybe finally make assistant deputy regional manager.
Wow, air conditioning can do that?
Life moves pretty fast. If you spend all summer worried the weather is going to be too nice, you could miss it.
Stay cooler with Bueller.
Visit BuellerAir.com.
What is the coldest temperature ever recorded on Earth? The answer next.
There's always a good reason to compare homeowners' insurance rates. You may be paying too much. Protect your home with a Southern Oak insurance policy today.
Our family protecting yours. Southern Oak Insurance.
The coldest temperature ever recorded was in Antarctica in July of 1983. An unbelievably cold minus 128.6 degrees.
Southern Oak Insurance. Our family protecting yours.
For the greenest, lushest lawn on the block, choose the local legends, Roundtree Sod. Don't just settle for ordinary. Let Roundtree Sod deliver you a picture-perfect lawn. To get a free estimate, call 7414-SOD. 7414-SOD.
1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Now, another great guest on the Checkmate Coatings phone line. Hello. Your floor's missing piece. Jaguars Today on 1010XL.
You know, one of these days, Dylan, we could have Tom McManis play himself in on this. Tommy Mac, of course, lead singer extraordinaire of the Dad Bods. Before we get to Tom McManis, who's standing by with a full camp report, what do we want to hear most here? We want to hear Liam Cohen tell us that there's nothing to worry about with Brian Thomas Jr. Here's what Liam Cohen had to say just moments ago after practice.
Oh, yeah, he's fine. He absolutely could have gone back and played, just bruised it a little bit. Said he had great range of motion, strength. He was all good. So no issues, just precautionary.
Oh, love that, man. Again, we're not trying to sensationalize. When we get info that he leaves the field, getting checked out, comes back, didn't get back into the action, you want to hear that. And again, Liam Cohen, completely unfazed, right? Like, if it was one of those deals like they had to have further testing or whatever, I think you would have heard more open-ended kind of like, we'll see. We're going to check him out a little bit later on. But he's like, nah, just bruised it. He's got full range of motion. If we needed him there, he would have been there. No sense pushing it. Hopefully he'll be out there tomorrow. But right now, a man who was out there today, my Friday co-host, Tom McManis. Tommy Mac, good morning. How are you?
What's up, Debs? Doing great, man. Doing great. Another productive day out there at the Miller Electric Center, and day number 2.
Yeah, we'll get to all the details that you saw, but I guess the big sigh of relief is that when you hear one of your handful of star players goes down, you know, you always fear for the worst, and it appears that Brian Thomas Jr., just got banged up a little bit. Nothing the worse for wear.
Yeah, no, listen, the play, look, it was a little scary, but it was really brief because he popped up, and then he walked off, and then he went inside for a minute, and then he came back out. And the best part about it for me was there was no ice on his body whatsoever, so it couldn't have been that bad of a injury. And to keep him out is probably a smart thing. They were going at it pretty good on the 11-on-11. And I'll tell you this, Demps, defense got the better of them today, man. They were making plays left and right. Not a handful of picks, but a few picks. Some really bad throws, not good timing. They had some good plays, but overall, defense won it out there today, man. They were flying around.
Yeah, that's what it seemed like, Tom. We were following along on social media. You know, you get those updates, play-by-play at times of what's going on in team drills. Specifically, because let's be honest, you know, what Nick Mullins and John Wolford and Seth Hennigan do is not nearly as important as what Trevor Lawrence does. So how much of it was, in your opinion, the defense just had that day and then they had the clamps on him? How much was Trevor on and maybe guys were just making good plays on the ball, or was he off target today?
Well, he was kind of off target. I mean, look, it was a little combination of both, but I think this is what it is, because I know the other QBs, like you said, but it happened to them as well. The timing's just off. They're not throwing it soon enough. And when you don't, you give that defender a chance to catch up, and if it's not in the right spot, like if it's inside when it's supposed to be outside, they're going to make a play. So you did see way too much of that today, at least for my liking. I'm not going to get too carried away because I know they're working through the new system, the new timing, but the timing was off today, in my opinion. It wasn't just from Trevor. Nick Mullins had it. Even the backup guys had it as well. They just a little bit off as far as when you release that ball. So I think that's a big thing with Liam Cohen and his offense. That footwork that Trevor's been talking about, that timing, that rhythm, I think that's what it's all based on. So not what you want to see today, at least from an offensive standpoint, but, man, you got to feel pretty good about the defense because they were flying around.
All right, we'll get to some particulars on defense, but, Tom, it's just obligatory. What did you see out of Travis Hunter today?
You know, he's fast. You know, I mean, I don't know. I didn't listen even yesterday when he played DB during the team drills. I really didn't notice that he was even out there. That's not it's not a dig or nothing. It just is what it is. And you know, they made a throw to him in the corner of the end zone. DB made a great play. I think the ball was thrown late. It was thrown inside as well. But you know, look, he's just gonna be part of everything. And you know, I think I want to see it live, but, you know, just keep in mind, no matter how great he was in college football, this isn't college football anymore. These are, you know, the elite of the elite type athletes, and I think he'll eventually stand out, but I think he's working his way through it like a lot of rookies do.
Sorry. Go ahead.
Positive. It's all positive, nothing negative. Just I haven't really – it's not like he's made – I know that one play he made that was on the you know, the video and the defensive backs. I haven't seen any plays like that, you know, the one that went viral, I think, last week. But I haven't seen any big, you know, where I'm like, wow, that was a great play from him. So
yeah, that's fine. And that's fair. All right. So swinging around defensively, any individual particular players stand out to you on defense today?
Well, the D line, you know, again, it's no pads as we know, so it's really hard. I was talking to Joe C. I'm like, look, so put it to you this way, like. A defensive end rushing the left tackle. You know, the tackle's going to engage for a little bit. He's not going to drive him to the ground. He's not going to take him all the way. Maybe he lets up, and then it appears to be a sack. You know what I mean? So there is some of that, but there's also that where there's smoke, there's fire. I mean, the defensive line yesterday and today been in the backfield all day long. I mean, now granted, you're not in pads, so it's kind of hard to be like, man, can't they block him up? I don't want to say that.
Mm-hmm.
You can't say that yet, but there's a little bit of truth to that because the speed of that defensive line, which is good for us, for the defensive side of things. But I'm still a little, you know, skeptical on the O-line is how they're going to come together. Now, again, they're not in pads, so you can't get too carried away. But too much wreaking havoc on the defensive side of the ball in my backfield for me to be happy about the performance on that side of the ball anyway.
One of those guys that apparently wreaked some of that havoc today, Tom, was Mason Smith. You know, just following along with the report seemed to stand out. What did you see from him?
Yeah, he did. And then he got a little scuffle, which I always love those little scuffles during practice. I even got a few claps going because I thought it was great. But yeah, no, he was wreaking havoc. Trayvon was back there. I'll tell you one, I know Kaiser, me and Joe had a great seat. Kaiser did a blitz, and whoever the backup guard was just shellacked him to the ground. I mean, just a two-handed punch sent him right down. Where you're like, oh, you know, that stuff happens. You know, those guys, again, without pads, it's a little bit different. But, I say, look, a couple of the DBs, Ranshaw made a good play, the rookie safety. Antonio Johnson had a nice pick. Savage had a pick. I'll tell you what was really fascinating and impressive to me. So Antonio Johnson picks off. I forget. It might have been Trevor. It might have been somebody else.
I thought he got Mullins.
It might have been Mullins. It was a deeper kind of throw. Yeah. Anyway, so he's running. Yeah, because Fred Johnson was out there. That's why I'm bringing it up. So he's running down. He's running through people. Then some guys are paying attention. Some guys aren't. Some guys are chasing him. Some guys aren't. Well, Fred Johnson's one of them that's chasing him, and that big guy can really move. Holy moly! Now he wasn't going to catch him, but that was more impressive than the interception and the return. So I'm sitting there watching Fred Johnson haul butt down the field. Is he in play at left tackle? I don't know. It seems like Walker's the left tackle every time they step out there. But, look, we know there's competition. We know the right tackle's competition. I think the other three, I do think Ezra's going to be my guard. That's just my opinion. But, the other guys got to gel together. And again, we'll see when the pads come on, and then that's part of the process. And then it's, going against other people that aren't, your own guys. And then it's preseason games, and then we're off and running. So, look, it's a good step as far as, what they got, done out there today, especially on the defense. If I'm on the defensive side of the ball, then I'm pretty happy about today. I feel pretty good about the past 2 days, to be honest with you.
Let's wrap up with this. It's interesting what you're talking about with Fred Johnson. We played a clip yesterday from Liam Cohen where he said, it is tough to gauge what exactly they're doing because you don't have the full pads on and stuff like that. But what he's looking for is the guy that, let's say you complete that pass 10 yards downfield. Who's the guy that's busting his hump to get out there and throw that one extra block? And that sounds like the kind of thing that Fred Johnson did on that play, albeit, chasing a guy who intercepted a pass.
Yeah, he didn't give up on the play for sure. No, I get that. I mean, don't we want that out of our D-line?
It's a culture thing. Absolutely, we want that. Yeah.
You want it out of your receivers too, right? Blocking downfield, making things happen, springing it loose maybe, or just punishing somebody just for being on the other side of the ball. But yeah, Fred, look, it just was impressive how big, because he's a big dude. And one of the bigger guys out there, and man, he could really, really get after it from an athletic standpoint. But overall, look, it was defense's day, so I can't be that upset.
Right, you're a defensive guy. I hear you.
I know we all want the offense to do well, but and again, when you go against your own guys and it's no pads, you just don't know how good or how not good the whole thing is. You know what I mean? It's just part of the process going through it, and they're getting after it, that's for sure. And what do they got? One more day tomorrow, and then they're off till training camp.
I hope we hear that the offense has their day tomorrow, because it's 2 in a row for the defense. I just like to get that balance going back and forth a little bit. Of course, you'll be back in with me on Friday, and we'll discuss the entirety of the minicamp and where things stand with the Jags going on hiatus until training camp. Tommy Mack, all the best. You got anything cooking in the next couple days you want people to know about?
Let's see. I've got the Dad Bod Saturday night at the local in Neptune Beach. Looking forward to that. We actually rehearsed my song, Man, What a Life, and it sounded really good, so we're going to perform it live this Saturday night. Really looking forward to that. Horse's Mouth is about to hit the road, not this week, but next week. It looks like we're finalized. We'll be at Lynch's in Jacks Beach doing that. And more catching up with Tommy Mack. I'm about to do a little report on Facebook, and then be back in the saddle with you guys on Friday morning, man. Can't wait.
All right, brother. Thanks for checking in with us, Tom. I'll see you in a couple days.
All right, Debs. Later, bud.
There he goes, Tom McManis, double nickels, our middle linebacker here on Jaguars Today. A good day for the defense, which, you can assume that that's not a great day for the offense, and that's kind of the way it works in these circumstances, even though there are reasons for some of that kind of stuff to happen. Nonetheless, I'd like to see the offense bounce back tomorrow. The key takeaway from the last 10 minutes, Liam Cohen saying, nothing to worry about with Brian Thomas Jr. We'll hear more from the head coach of the Jaguars when we return to put a bow on this edition of Jaguars Today, straight ahead on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Jaguars Today from the Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors Studios of 1010XL. Lap times, tire pressure, and track bar adjustments.
Oh, he's going to get loose!
Sunday in Mexico City.
Bubba Wallace slides up in the outside lane.
NASCAR is tuned up by Maxie's Mechanics on Jacksonville's NASCAR station, 1010XL.
Chicken Salad Chick is now open in Ortega Park on Roosevelt Boulevard. Fresh, scratch-made chicken salad in 12 mouth-watering flavors. Get to Ortega Park and enjoy Chicken Salad Chick, the best chicken salad in Jacksonville.
You tired of high energy bills? Replace those inefficient windows and patio doors now. Don't miss Renewal by Anderson's 30th anniversary sale. Buy one window or patio door and get one 30% off. Financing options are available and this offer expires June 30th. Renewal by Anderson, proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Visit bestwindowsflorida.com to schedule your free consultation.
License number CGC 1527613. Mia here for my friends at Closets by Design. It's been a few months since they built my custom closet. Even my family is obsessed. And with Father's Day right around the corner, why not surprise Dad with his own custom garage workspace? Tool storage, workbenches, the whole works. Closets by Design creates custom solutions for every space, lifestyle, and budget. That includes Dad's. Call to schedule your free in-home consultation and receive 40% off plus an additional 15% off. Visit closetsbydesign.com.
It's a Weight Loss Wednesday
on Jaguars Today.
Awaken 180 Weight Loss.
It's graduation season, a time to celebrate the end of an era and the beginning of a whole new story. At Diamonds Direct, we believe moments like these deserve to be remembered beautifully. Honor your graduate with a timeless gift, a birthstone ring, a classic pendant, diamond studs, or an heirloom piece they'll treasure forever. No pressure, all sparkle, and expert guidance every step of the way. Diamonds Direct, your love, our passion.
For a lot of us, saving up a down payment can be the biggest barrier to buying a home. So Rocket Mortgage is lowering down payments to 1% for eligible home buyers with One Plus. Because everyone deserves their shot at the American dream. Call 800-4ROCKET or visit rocket.com to get a head start on your starter home.
Rocket Mortgage, LLC, licensed in all 50 states. NMLSconsumeraccess.org, number 3030.
Your home is more than walls and a roof. It's where you breathe, drink, and power through life. At Donovan Air Electric and Plumbing, we're here to keep it all running smoothly. From clean, cool air to clean water, reliable power to expert plumbing, we do it all. For over 35 years, families have trusted Donovan to make their homes healthier, safer, and more comfortable. Call Donovan Air Electric and Plumbing today, 904-270-COOL, where health meets home.
Join me, Max Fink, as I keep a close eye on everything that happens in Gator Nation.
The Gator Report, polished up by San Jose Collision on the home of the Florida Gators, 1010XL.
Go, Gators! Have you been diagnosed with moderate to severe opioid use disorder? You may qualify for a new clinical research study. Dr. Ferdinand Formoso is now enrolling participants to evaluate the effectiveness of a non-opioid medication treatment option for OUD. Qualified participants will receive study-related care at no cost and may be eligible for reimbursement of travel and accommodations. To qualify, applicants must be 18 to 65 years old, have been diagnosed with moderate to severe opioid use disorder, and have not been on medication to treat opioid use in the last 3 months. The study lasts up to 22 weeks, with weekly visits during treatment. If you're ready to explore a new path forward, visit OUDstudy.com for more details and qualifications. Take the first steps and visit OUDstudy.com. That's OUDstudy.com. OUDstudy.com.
You've got a lot on your plate. The last thing you need is car trouble. At Maxie's Mechanics, we help you keep your cars, trucks, and SUVs running safely. Visit MaxieAutoRepair.com today for honest service, reliable repairs, and peace of mind for you and your family.
Hey, Hickett here for my friends at Zero Res. Gang, vacuuming is not sufficient to maintain the cleanliness and lifespan of your carpet, period. Do not, let me repeat, do not leave deep cleaning to yourself, but do-it-yourself dirt-attracting carpet soaking machines. No, no, no. Call on the cleaning freaks from Zero Res. Big summer savings. 3 rooms of carpet clean starting at $129. Take 20% off air duct cleaning as well. Call them, 904-287-5727, and ask for the 1010XL special. Zero Res. Call it forwards or backwards. It's the right way to clean.
Rick Ballou
for Coy Dental. That's right, Carlson Dental is now Coy Dental. Dr. Lee has been practicing there for 9 years, has purchased the company. The Coy Dental team still has the same great dentists and staff. And remember, if you get nervous visiting a dentist, don't. There's never a problem at Coy Dental with light sedation for cleaning and deep sedation for all your restorative needs. Coy Dental, 2 locations in Jacksonville.
Are your kids ready to play this summer? Come check out The Y. Summer is a time for kids to explore new things and expand the limits of their imagination. At The Y summer camps, every day is a new adventure. Kids can learn about STEM, arts and humanities, athletic sports, outdoor games, and more. Registration is now open, but space is limited and spots are filling up quickly. Learn more and find your adventure at fcymca.org. Search Summer Day Camp.
Keeping kids active is a full-time job for parents. Look no further, though, than I-9 Sports, covering Duval, St. John's, and Clay to get your youngster in the game. Summer and fall registration open right now for flag football, soccer, t-ball, and basketball, plus girls volleyball at Duval Charter Bay Meadows. Fields and gyms all over the First Coast, and the best thing is I-9 Sports offers sports year-round so kids can always find something to do. i9sports.com, enter 1010 in the promo code.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Now, the cool down with Donovan Air Electric and Plumbing. Keeping Jack's cool since 1987.
All right, it has been a busy day, I feel, Dylan Denmark. Minicamp going on and had the BTJ scare, and which apparently amounted to nothing. We'll hear more extensive thoughts from Liam Cohen coming up on that in a moment. Everything's good. Everything's copacetic with Brian Thomas Jr. Get Liam Cohen's thoughts on the defense dominating today as well. That's coming up. Saw this one. Duval Doom quote tweeted it from Bold City Beat. Downtown's Maxwell House plant will undergo significant upgrades as part of a $3 billion investment by Kraft Heinz. The downtown location is the company's only coffee plant in the U.S., which prompted Doom to say,
"The Maxwell House coffee will live on forever."
You got that right, Doom. I knew exactly what you were talking about when you said that. Apparently it will. I did not know that. That's the only Maxwell House plant in the United States of America. So,
now you know.
Now I know. I got to say, I love the smell of coffee grounds, right? Can't stand the taste of coffee.
Yeah, I don't like coffee neither.
Don't like it at all.
My parents didn't drink coffee till 30, so maybe I got to wait till I'm 30, but...
I've tried it, man. I've tried it with a bunch of milk, cream, sugar, whatever.
Black, straight up.
Oh, dude, no. Way too bitter for me, man. Just give me that... what's the difference? I'll drink an energy drink in the morning. Same difference.
You do plenty of that.
I do one per show. That's what I do, It's that healthy energy, though, Dylan. So it's good like that. So appreciate you, Doom. I got it 100% where you were going with that one. The Maxwell House coffee will live on forever, or at least for a long, long time here with part of a $3 billion investment by Kraft Heinz. Good stuff coming to Jacksonville, man. Love to see the businesses thrive here in Duval County. All right. You know what else we want to see thrive? Brian Thomas Jr. Once again, kind of the story that it's a non-story. We've had back-to-back non-stories. Dylan to wrap up the last couple of days. We had Sleevegate, which amounted to nothing. Trevor Lawrence in the sleeve again today, but he threw. He participated in the full practice. Then Brian Thomas Jr. leaving briefly, did not return to practice, but returned quickly to the sideline. Again, if you're just tuning in or you want to hear a little bit more about what Liam Cohen had to say about Brian Thomas Jr., here it is.
Oh, yeah, he's fine. He absolutely could have gone back and played, just bruised it a little bit. Said he had great range of motion, strength. He was all good. So no issues, just precautionary.
It was the shoulder.
Yeah, it was one of them. I mean, he's had both, right? So it's nothing new for him. He's had him a little bit in the past. It's not anything that if he didn't come back out, he'd be really hurt. So he was completely cleared to play.
All right, so he was cleared to play. And again, that phrase, abundance of caution, is what we used earlier. That's what we hoped, and that seems to be what happened. Look, we pass it along. Not trying to get... the last thing I want to do is scare anybody about the health of any of the key players on the Jacksonville Jaguars, particularly when we're not out there to eyeball it ourselves. But appreciate all the folks, Hacker included here at 1010XL, and some of our regulars like Mike DeRocco and Jamal St. Cyr for keeping us posted on what was going on a minute-by-minute basis there for a while. And in the end, it seems like it's a big whole lot of nothing. Now, the defense was not a whole lot of nothing today. Maybe they're giving up a whole lot of nothing. As Tom said, Tom McManis just a few minutes ago, defense dominated out there today. And here is Liam Cohen on the performance of that side of the ball.
I thought their energy was better than the offense's. Just making plays, had a little juice. Yeah, even if they maybe an offense made a play, I thought the defense just kept responding. Whereas maybe the offense just kind of maybe let the defense set the tone a little bit today in a lot of ways.
Interesting, right? I mean, that's probably disappointing to Liam Cohen because you can control effort and energy. You can't necessarily control execution. You're trying your best. You're going to make mistakes. Physical mistakes are one thing. Effort issues, and again, I'm not trying to blow it out of proportion. You wonder, Dylan, as well. You see your guy BT go inside. Does that take the wind out of your sails for a moment?
That'll definitely change the energy on the offense.
Right, wouldn't you think? Kind of like, hey, let's make sure our guy's okay. Even though he comes back out, you're like, it's more like, okay, let's get through this at this point. I don't know. I wasn't out there, but it does sound like Liam Cohen probably expected a little bit more out of the offense in terms of meeting the defense's intensity. So, which comes into competitiveness. And, the defense had that swag today and are feeling pretty good about themselves. And Liam Cohen remarked on, as the summer has gone along, as minicamp has progressed, we got 1 day left on the competitiveness revving up.
I mean, it's been like, really calm out here, which is good. And also, when you do amp up the competition, there's going to be a little bit of chipping. And that's the first actual disagreement our players have had out on the grass. So, it's not, I'm not promoting it. It's just, it's going to happen in football. And those guys, they know once we walk off the grass, we're one team, and that's just the way it works.
All right, so there you have it from Liam Cohen. I think we got time for one more. Dylan, we're just listening to it in the break a minute ago. We haven't heard a ton about Bajel Tootin, who was their first pick of day 3 with pick 104 in the draft. And Liam Cohen just asked how Tootin's been coming along.
Yeah, I think it's really hard for any, a lot of the running backs, it's a huge jump from protection systems in college to the pros, and that's usually where you see some of the tempo slow down for them, like playing slower, thinking more, is when pass pro starts to kind of bog the mind. And then, okay, you've got, let's call it 5 different tracks of footworks from a running back that you need to learn, and we're trying to teach the why, so sometimes that can slow it back down in this phase, especially when it's tag and it's awkward. People are in awkward positions when you're trying to stick your foot in the ground and get vertical to run through them. You can't. It's awkward. So I think he's done a solid job. I know he needs a lot more work, which all those guys do.
2 things will keep your butt parked on the bench as a rookie running back: pass protection and ball security. All right, and it sounds like Bajel Tootin's a work in progress in pass protection. Liam Cohen's not going to bury anybody, right? Why would you? It's freaking June in a minicamp, right? He's a rookie, but clearly there's some work to do for Bajel Tootin in pass pro and coming along. And that is why, for the folks that think that Travis Etienne is still going to be the guy, he's been around, been there, done that, and you probably trust him more in those situations right now. Can Bajel Tootin earn that trust as the season goes on to have that Bucky Irving-like impact in the second half of the year, much like Irving did as a 4th-round pick for Liam Cohen last year in Tampa in that offense? Maybe that's too much to hope for, but I'm still hopeful that, as this is a guy that they think is a special talent who can, the proverbial take it to the house on any given play, any moment. He could turn it into 6 points, and he has got that kind of speed. Someone we talked to, who was it? Was it McManis we were talking to? Whoever said, anytime you've got a 3 as your second number in your 40 time, you got to pay attention to that guy for sure. So a lot got accomplished today, I feel, on the program. A lot got accomplished by the Jaguar defense on the field today, and I hope the folks who are in attendance, who may be in their cars right now, were able to enjoy what they saw out there. Look, I think folks probably want a couple of deep passes to Brian Thomas and Travis Hunter being completed for touchdowns. Doesn't sound like you got that today, but hey, the defense is a very vital part of what this team's going to do, and we need a lot of improvement out of them today. The question is, you don't know. You're going Jag versus Jag. Are you Jaguar good on defense today, or are you good on defense today? None of these questions going to be answered right now, and training camp will tell a lot more of the story. One more day on the field tomorrow. We'll hear more from Liam Cohen and a bunch of the players, obviously, who spoke after practice today. We're not going to have time to bring you that audio because we're just about done, but we got Helmets and Heels, XL Primetime, the Frangie Show, all coming up, so you get plenty from Jaguar minicamp throughout the course of the afternoon as we welcome in Helmets and Heels right now.
Now, the 2-minute drill. Serviced by Cool Cats Heating and Cooling. Locally owned and operated. We're your neighbors. CoolCatsJacks.com.
The coolest cats in town.
Lauren, is the word of the day, phew, is that it for Brian Thomas Jr.?
I thought for a second I was going to lose my breakfast out there on the practice field when I figured out who was down. And in the moment, you had a couple different players kneeling. One player put his hand up as if he was praying for him. So in those first few moments, I was like, this is really bad. And then to see Brian Thomas Jr. get up, walk off with the trainers, and then return to the sideline, and then obviously to have Liam Cohen say it was precautionary, he's perfectly fine. Yes. Phew. And thank you, God, for that.
Look, I mean, the most important words that Liam Cohen said was he was clear to return.
Absolutely.
He could have gone back in. And, you know, you're at that point, you're kind of out of rhythm. You maybe cooled down a little bit.
Sure. And, I don't know if you can cool down out there today. It was definitely steamy.
Good
but yeah,
point.
I did see Brian Thomas Jr., walking back onto the practice field, kind of, using his arm, or, moving the shoulder around. So it didn't surprise me to then hear Liam say he would have scored.
Right. He said he had full range of motion, good range of motion, whatever, and he described it as a bruise. So
Right. But if you want to bubble wrap him until September, I'm perfectly fine with that.
Yeah, honestly, though, I hope we just see him out there tomorrow just so we have.
I know what you mean.
Yes, just like, okay, he's back. Like even with Trevor yesterday with Sleevegate.
Right.
Okay, he's wearing the sleeve again today, but he's throwing, so I'm going to assume it's fine,
Yes, yeah. I think it was Slinggate more than Sleevegate, but now that's been put to rest.
Did I say Slinggate? Yeah, Sleevegate is what it turned out to be.
Yeah,
yes.
But it was interesting. I was like, if we see Brian Thomas Jr. come back onto the field in a sling, like after yesterday's debacle, oh no, it's going to be terrible. But yeah, it's fun to be out there, Mike, and just to see the energy, a little chippiness today. That stuff is fun, and certainly fans brought the juice for sure.
All right. What do we have coming up on Helmets and Heels?
Yeah, Taylor and I will get into that after being out on the practice field, and then also Mike Golick Jr. at 12:30. We will talk some college football, ask him about Jaguars rookie linebacker Jack Kaiser, who played for Notre Dame. And then at 1:20, we will get to golf as Gary Smits joins us to talk all things U.S. Open at Oakmont.
Love it. The carnage that's coming.
Yes. Have you seen the pictures of the rough? Like people standing in it?
And I watched live from the U.S. Open a couple times this week, and they got the guy, and they're so
dramatic.
Just shut it. With this, we think it's going to be a better test. We had graduated rough in the past. Now it's going to be the uniform 5 inches and blah, blah, blah. And it's like, man, I get it. I do like the torture porn of it, that watching these guys hit a great shot to the pin and the green just won't hold it because I can't spin the ball like them. I'm used to seeing my ball bound off the back of the green.
Absolutely.
So I don't mind that. But I think it's going to be more Angel Cabrera at +5 than it was Dustin Johnson as one of 4 or 5 guys under par in the tournament.
Yeah. Who's the bigger storyline this week? Scotty Scheffler or Rory McIlroy?
Oh, Scotty. Yeah, Rory's not
but
even
people
a story
love the
anymore.
drama of Rory.
Rory's like a soap opera sideshow now.
Right.
Rory's lost his mojo because I've accomplished my goal. So that's it? You're done?
I mean, if you're done, then get off the PGA Tour.
Or keep showing up. I don't care, but absolutely, Scotty. Yeah. I'd still take the field over Scheffler. Taking one guy versus the field is tough, but should be. I mean, you want a guy who's going to be consistent.
Right.
Fairways, greens. We'll see how it goes.
Do you root against the live guys like I do?
Hate the live guys.
Okay, so yeah.
Now, Ryder Cup time, y'all can come along and help us win a Ryder Cup.
If it's for our country.
If it's for our country in the Ryder Cup, I'll be rooting for Bryson. And
he's honestly probably the only one I think that would make the team of the live guys.
Yeah, it's not like Mickelson's going to make the Ryder Cup,
maybe
right?
John Rahm if he's playing well, but yeah, we'll see.
Right, for them, for Europe.
Yeah, but that's what I mean. Yeah, I'm not even sure that any of the live guys will, outside of Bryson, would make it for America, and I don't think any of them would make it for the Europeans.
Yeah, I'd have a tough time leaving Rahm off as a captain's pick.
Yeah, if it's anyone, it's those two, for sure.
Have a great show.
Well, thank you so much. You didn't want to stay another 10 minutes and talk golf?
I do. I don't think they want. I think they want to get to your thoughts from Jaguar minicamp primarily. So you and Taylor have it for the next 2 hours. Appreciate you stopping by.
Thank you so much.
All right, there she goes. LB, Lauren Brooks. Former producer of Jaguars Today and star of Stage and Screen. All right, that'll do it for us today. Glad we could bring you thoughts from a bevy of Jaguar coaches and players. Glad that Brian Thomas Jr. seems to have avoided anything major on the injury front. Let's get him through one more day, guys. Can we? Right? Don't want to hear any sleeve gate, sling gate, shoulder gate, or any other gates tomorrow, Dylan. Let's just have a good day. Let's have a couple of big plays by the offense to send us off feeling good into the summer before training camp rolls around. Excellent job by Dylan Denmark. Once again, don't forget Tony Smith back next week. I'm Mike Dempsey. Thank you for listening to Jaguars Today. And we'll talk to you tomorrow from 10 to noon on 1010XL and 92.5 FM.
The Maxwell House coffee will live on